Ganesh sir. Ganesh sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. కొంచెం వెయిట్ చేద్దాం సార్. అంటే
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
రాలేదు కదా.
Okay, sir.
టైమ్ ఇస్ 1:50.
Okay, sir.
ఓకే సార్.
Yeah.
గణేష్ సార్
సార్ ఎస్ సార్
కంటిన్యూ చేశాను సార్ క్లాస్.
ఓకే సార్ ఓకే. టైం మెంబర్స్ వచ్చి 36 ఉన్నారు.
లేకపోతే ఒక 5 minutes ఆగండి.
ఓకే సార్, ఒక 2 minutes చూద్దాం సార్, నెక్స్ట్ స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం.
ఓకే సార్, ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. This is Ganesh. After a long time, we'll start our session. I hope my voice is audible to everyone. Srino sir. Srino sir. I hope my screen is also visible to everyone. Is it right or not? Please respond through anyone chat box or unmute yourself. You can try to speak once with me. Are you able to see the screen now? Is it my voice is audible to everyone? Hello? Srinivas sir? Srinivas sir?
Yeah.
Please respond anyone. Is it my voice is audible to everyone or not? May I continue my session? No, yeah, someone is giving me a reply. Okay, thank you. Thank you, 91. Okay. In the last classes, we are discussing about behavioral patterns. So we're already discussing about 3 types of patterns. They are creational patterns, structural patterns, and another one is the behavioral patterns. So we also know about this. So when we are designing some software, then in which type of way we are creating that pattern. So basically here we are already discussed in the previous chapters. So that is creational patterns, how we are creating the pattern, and which type of things are necessary, that will be focused into the structural patterns. So in the case of behavioral patterns, here we are mainly verifying working. So how it will be performing the working. So that means how it will be responded to the users. So whether those type of modules are properly responded or not. So that means responsiveness, throughput, output, reliability. So like this. Okay. So in the behavioral patterns, mainly we are consider the following things. So these are the main topics in the behavioral patterns. They are chain of responsibility, command, interpreter, iterator, mediator, memento, observer, state, strategy, template method, and visitor. So actually these are not new topics. So all these are the familiar topics with us. Okay. So first of all, we try to discuss about what is a behavioral pattern. Okay. Behavioral patterns refers to the class of design patterns that describe the way in which classes or objects to communicate with each other with the use of concept called distributed responsibilities. I think the name is implies here. Behavior patterns represents behavior. So in which type of way behave with the particular user. So that means whenever we are giving some software to the some end users, then how those type of end users interacting with the design software. So that will be described by using the behavioral pattern. Here also mentioned the same thing. So that means these are used for describing the relationship between classes and objects. So how they are communicating with each other. Okay. So next one is behavioral patterns. Deal with the way objects interact, distributes responsibility. So that means here we are maintaining some distributing. So that is a responsibility. For example, maybe if you are click some particular module, then that particular module connects to the some other module within that structure. Then maybe that particular module maybe perform the relevant so which is required to the user. For example, maybe so maybe for example maybe we are assume like this. So maybe the button is for example calculate or print, so or maybe get the result like this. So whenever the particular user click that button, then it will be performing the automatic, so whatever it may be the relevant action. So that means whenever the type of the thing is needed to the user, then only that button is clicked by the user. Am I right or not? So here we are verifying how that module is responding with the particular user. Okay, that thing will be verified into the behavior patterns. And another thing is the chain of responsibility. I think the name is implies here responsibility is maintained through some chains. So that means here the same type of responsibility is carrying by more than one person or maybe more than one module. Okay, if you observe here, avoid coupling the sender of request to its receiver by giving more than one object a chance to handle the request. So that means whenever the particular request is raised from the client, then that client is processed by more than one object. So that means here we are performing the avoid coupling the sender of request to its receiver. So that means here we are removing the association. So that particular request will be handled by more than one object. Okay. So objects and deposit the request along the chain until an objects handle it. So that means here, so whenever some particular request is raised from the client, that request is handled by more than one object. Actually, these topics are were already discussed in the last class. So after a long time, we are discussing the same thing. So that's why I try to repeat the previous class. Okay, in the next classes, we try to discuss new topics of this unit. Okay. So all of you, please don't try to get confused and please try to follow the previous classes also. And those two classes are also already available in the YouTube and the material. So whatever it may be up to now, I'm completing the 4 units. So that material is also available in the group. So if you're having any type of the problems, so if you face any type of the problems, you please contact me directly, no problem. Okay. Okay, and another thing, all of you please log in, try to log in within the time. Okay, before the starting of the session of the class, so it will be better for you. Okay, and another thing, all of you please all of you please register with your roll number. Some of the members just mention your name or simply like this, maybe 501 502 like this. So better you try to represent your entire roll number. Okay, so that will be better for you. Okay, we can continue our class. So actually here we are consider the two types of behavioral patterns. So those are behavioral class patterns and another one is the behavioral object patterns. So behavioral class patterns are also considered into the two types. So those are template method pattern and another one is the interpreter pattern. Okay, the name is simplest. Here we are using some template. We also know about what is the template. So that means template means here. So that is nothing but some of the skeleton. So the same skeleton will be used for more than one person. For example, in our phones also we are using some templates. I'm right. So before sending that some particular members to the message. So maybe I'm busy. I will call you later. So have a nice day like this. So before before sending the message, so we are having some message. So that same message is sent to the some particular members. So in the same way here also template method pattern defines algorithm structure within the operation. So allow certain steps of these operations to be performed by subclasses. So redefine certain algorithm steps without performing any modifications to the skeleton of algorithm. So that means these are already predefined. So the same predefined methods are used to solve the problem. So that means particular button, then it will be perform some particular action. So this is already predefined. So this is already designed. So this is already attached. So just we are using the same template method used to solve our whatever it may be the current situation of the problem. So that type of the method will be referred as a template method pattern. Okay. So in this one here we are mainly specifying the algorithms. Okay. Next one is the interpreter pattern. So this pattern specifying the representation of grammar for a given language. These patterns are used for interpreting the sentence of the language. So we also know about what is the purpose of interpreter. So interpreter specifies how we are executing. So how we are translating the given language into the required format. Okay, so that type of the thing will be specified into the interpreter. So that means up to now, just we are discussing two types of behavioral class patterns. So those are template method pattern, and another one is the interpreter pattern. Okay, so another one is the behavioral object patterns. So these patterns are used for distributing the behavior among the objects using the composition technique. So that means here, so these are used for distributing the behavior. So that means here we are mainly focused on to the object patterns. So previous session, we are discussing about the class patterns. Okay, so the same thing will be represented in this slide also. So behavioral class patterns. So these patterns are responsible for describing the algorithms as well as control flows by employing the inheritance approach. So they are template method pattern and another one is the interpreter pattern. Okay, so in the case of behavioral class patterns, those are mainly responsible for describing the algorithms at the same time control flow. Okay, so and another one is the behavioral object patterns mainly focused on to the distributing the behavior. Okay, now we try to discuss the actual topic of this unit. So that is chain of responsibility. So decouple the sender of a request from the receiver. So give more than one object a chance to handle. Flexible in assigning responsibility, often applied with composite. So that means whenever some particular request is raised from the client, then that request is more than one object. So that means here we are assigning the same responsibility to more than one object. So at this time of situation, so at any time of the situation, that particular raising request will be solved within the time. So that is the main advantage of chain of responsibility. And when we are using chain of responsibility, then performing the decouple. So decouple sender of a request from the receiver. Okay, so next one, what is the chain of responsibility? So avoid coupling the sender of a request to its receiver by giving more than one object a chance to handle the request. So that means here we are assign more than one object. For example, maybe so the client will be raising some request. For example, maybe I need some information. Then that information request will be processed by more than one object. We also know about that. So whenever we are click the some particular module in a structure, then that module is connected to the some object. That object will be performed the relevant functionality which is required to the which is required functionality for the client, that will be performed by the object. So here we are assigned more than one object to handle which is raised from the client. Okay, in other words, decouple the object in that initiated the request from the object that is responsible for handling it. This is typically done by allocating the responsibility of handling the request to handle multiple objects that are chained together. So if you are observe here in the diagram also, okay. So initially client generates the request towards to the handler. Then here handle request. So here that request will be processed by more than one handlers. So here if you are observe here, so concrete handler one, concrete handler two, concrete handler up to n. So that means so whenever we are assigned more than one object like this, then at the time of the situation, definitely that request will be processed within the time. In some type of situation, maybe client performs long time of the waiting operation. So maybe in some type of situation occurring the problem. So that means there is no chance of flexibility, and we are not able to easily solving the problem within the time. But when we are using more than one object to handle the request, so then we are easily solving the problem within the time. Okay. So if you are observe here, this is the structure of chain of responsibility pattern. So in the same way, if you are observe here, so the same diagram will be represented in other format. So client initially generates some request. That request is handled by handler. That handler will be pass the same request towards to the remaining successors. So we also know about what is the successor. So what is the next one from the existing one? So that will be referred as a successor. If it is a before the existing one, that is one will be referred as a predecessor. We also know about this. Okay. So whenever that request is raised from the client, that will be passed to the remaining handlers. Okay. So that will be passed from handler. Okay. So in this type of way, it will be handled by more than one object and the processing the request within the time. So actually here there is no matter, but try to elaborate the topic with some other context. We also know about this. In the last class also I'm saying about this. So when you are explain about the design patterns, so whether it is maybe creational patterns or maybe structural patterns or maybe the behavioral patterns, you try to represent the same thing in different types of contexts. For example, maybe what is the applicability, what is the consequence, what is the collaboration. Okay. So what is the result, what is the motivation. So like this. Okay. So if you are observe here applicability, so when we are based upon to the chain of responsibility, so in which type of situation we are based upon to the chain of responsibility. When the single request is being handled by multiple objects and the information about allocating the request to object that is capable of handling the request is not known. So this information must be provided to the handler automatically. So that means, so whenever that type of the situation is happening, so we need to process the request, but we don't know so which type of object is processed. So and if any type of the chance is there, so more than one object is handled up that request. So at that time of the situation also we are using this chain of responsibility. So another thing, when a request sorry sorry for the disturbance. When a request needs to be issued to one of the multiple objects without explicitly defining about the receiver who can handle the request. So when the set of objects that are capable of carrying out the request is specified during the execution time. So that means, so in both cases here, we are allowing more than one object to handle that request, which is raised from the client. And at the same time, so there is no need to specify explicitly, so which of the object is handle that request. Okay. So at this time of situation, we are based upon to the chain of responsibility, and another one is the motivation. So I also know about what is a motivation. So before applying that concept, in which type of way we are ready. Okay. So to understand the motivation of the chain of responsibility pattern, consider an example of online help system that serves the request generated by user that needs assistance while working with an interface or any part of it. So that means here, before going to the motivation, here we are based upon to the some example. So that example is online helping system. Okay, online help system. So that serves the request generated by the users that need assistance while working with an interface or any part of it. So this information is used to organize in accordance to their generality level, that is from more specific to more generic. The help request is issued by the client, passed to multiple user interface objects that are interconnected. Among these objects, only one object is capable of handling that request. In some type of situations, client request is not properly finished. To avoid these type of situations for using the chain of responsibility. So that means here we are consider some example. So that example is online helping system. So whenever client is requesting some particular service, then that service is handled by more than one object. But in some type of situations, so only one object is handle that request. For example, if that object is not properly handling that request, and maybe not able to giving the service within the time, then facing the problems by the client. Am I right or not? So to avoid those type of situations, for we are using assign more than one object to handle the request. So at this time of situation, definitely that whatever it may be the problem of the client will be solved within the time. So I think whatever it may be our motive, so that motive will be fulfilled. Am I right or not? So actually here the motive is online helping system. So if we are not able to giving the information within the time, then what is the use of that motive? Am I right or not? So uh, by using the chain of responsibility, we are able to assign more than one object to handle the request of the client. So so the main objective of the chain of responsibility is loosen the coupling between sender and receiver. So here we are, for the first thing of the chain of responsibility is performing the decoupling between the sender and receiver. So by allowing handling of request to its several objects, why we are performing the decoupling means, so whenever it is handled by more than one object, then there is no need to chance. So there is no need to maintain the communication between the sender and receiver. So why we are maintaining the communication between sender and receiver? So for example, if the sender means nothing but client, receiver means, for example, maybe, so again the same client. So okay, so for example, maybe whenever client is generating some request, so if it is processed properly or not, that will be verified by another other end of the user. Am I right or not? So but there is no need to here verify whether the request of the client is processed or not. So why? Because here we are assigning more than one object to handle that request. So if you are observe here, so in the diagram also we are mentioned the same thing. Okay, so help handler class and its subclasses. So whenever the particular request is generated from the client, then that will be processed to its subclasses by using handler. Okay, here we are mainly consider the three things. So those are handler, concrete handler, and another one is the sender. So I think we are easily understand. So sender means client. So that means he is try to receiving the some information. So that's why he is raising some request. That request is initially passed to the handler, then handler pass it to the remaining handlers. So then which type of handler is suitable and which type of handler is available on the particular time, so those type of handlers are processing this request which is raised from the client. So the same thing is explained in the following slides. So what is a handler? It defines a common interface shared by every object on the chain in order to handle the request. So that means all these objects are interconnected. So whenever some particular information is available in the handler, that will be able to pass it through this interconnection of objects. Okay, and it implements like associated with the successor object. So concrete handler, what is a concrete handler? So it is capable of accessing its successor object. If it is not capable of handling the request, then that object passes to the next remaining successor. So that is the main advantage of chain of responsibility. And who is sender? Sender is obviously client. Sender is responsible for issuing a request which is passed to a concrete handler object present to the chain of handlers. Okay, so up to now we are discussing about the chain of responsibility. I think the same topic is discussed in the last class also. Just I try to repeat the previous session. So okay, you don't try to confused. So please follow this material. Okay, and the next topic is command. So we also know about what is a command. And so if we are using command, then we are easily receiving whatever it may be are required on the particular time. For example, maybe if you want to know how many number of users logged in the particular time. So in the case of operating system, so simply we are giving some command who. So then it will be returns how many number of users log in the particular time. Am I right or not? So that means when we are using some command, then it will be performs some particular action. So that action will be used by the client. Okay, so command is nothing but an action or a transaction. So we also know about what is a transaction. Transaction means a series of actions. So in that command we are including some type of the things. So for example, maybe if we are giving some command date, So then it will be returns the current date. Am I right or not? So in the same way, for example, maybe if you are giving who, or maybe who am I? So like this. So we can give any type of the command. That command is mixed up with the different types of functionalities. Okay. The intent of this behavioral command pattern is perform request encapsulation so as to represent the request in the form of object. This encapsulation allows the client object to be parameterized with different requests. For example, in some type of situations, maybe we are passing the commands with the some parameters. Am I right or not? For example, maybe if you are giving like this calendar, and if you are mention the year, so then it will be giving the particular year. Am I right or not? So in the same way, we can giving the month name also. So that means all these are the parameters. So that means here the command is nothing but mix up with the requests of some users at the same time. So we try to include some parameters also. So maintain a log file for request objects. Provide support for performing the undoable operations on the objects. So all these are maintained by using the commands. We also know about the commands. Okay. Then what is your motivation? So how we are set the environment before applying that particular command. To understand the motivation of this pattern, consider an example of user interface toolkits that consists of many objects such as buttons, menus, text box, radius buttons, etc. So whenever a user provides an input, these objects perform their corresponding operations on and generating desired output. So we also know about this. So for example, maybe if we are consider some particular user interface toolkit. Okay, on the toolkit, we are having so different types of buttons. For example, maybe so from the menu, text boxes are available, radio buttons are available, check boxes are available like this. So when we are click some particular button, then it will be perform some its relevant functionality. So for example, maybe if you are click the text box, then text box will be appeared on the screen. So if you are click the radio button, then it will be giving the chance radio. So that means we can select any one of them only. In the same way, if you are click the checkbox, then it will be give you uh, allow the select more than one option. So that means this is also a one of the command. So that means when you are using some command, then it will be perform some its relevant functionality. So whenever user provides an input of these objects, perform their corresponding operations and generate the desired output. So the object that initiated the request doesn't have the explicit knowledge about what operations are being performed and who is responsible for handling the request. So here the object is that initiated the request doesn't have the explicit knowledge about the operations. So that means before applying the command, so there is no need. So and there is no need to maintain some type of knowledge. For example, maybe if you are using some command, before applying that command, so we are not having any type of the knowledge. Simply we are using that command. So when we are using that command, then it will be giving the some particular result. Okay. Next, collaboration. Okay. Client issues a new concrete command request for creating concrete command object along with the intended receiver. So the client sends a store command request to the invoke the object that store the concrete command object. So after sorting, the invoker implements an execute operation on the command and issue the request to the command object. So the operations defined on the receiver objects are implemented by concrete objects so as to handle the request issued by the client object. So that means here how they are collaborated. So in some type of situations, we are using more than one command. Am I right or not? So at that time of the situation, we are using pipe symbol in the case of Unix operating system. So we also know about that. For example, maybe we need to count the how many number of words, how many number of lines, and how many number of characters at the same time. So we try to find out some other thing, or maybe we are using some filter operation. Then how we are using all these operations at a time? So by using the pipe symbol. Am I right or not? So in the same way here also, in this here in the above example, here also we are using more than one command and how they are collaborated one to another. So initially we are performing the store command, next performing the sorting command, next we try to using the some other command. So that means all these commands, how all these commands are collaborated, how these are worked. Okay, so that means here we are verifying how they are working together. So if you are observe here, so command, consists of different types of commands. So maybe open command, paste command, okay, and a macro command. So in some type of situations, maybe the command involves some sub functionalities also. Okay, so those are referred as macro commands. Okay, and when we are using that command, that is nothing but open command. So when you are open that command, then automatically performing its execution. So for example, if we want to open some file, then how we can open the file? So open command, at the same time file name. So if we are giving the command like this, then it will be open the file. We also know about this. For example, if we want to open the file in the case of Unix operating system, then how we are open the file? So by using cat. I'm right. Okay. So next one is the applicability. So when we are using the commands, so the objects are parameterized by an action that specifies an operation to be performed. The user can make use of procedural language for parameterizing the object along with the callback function. So that means when you are using the command, then that command encapsulated with some parameterized requests of the user. Am I right or not? So that means we are including some parameters. At the same time, so when you are giving the command, after executing the command, then it will be giving some callback function. So by the callback function only, we are able to understand whether that command is properly executed or not. So it is a function which is declared, invoked at different places and times. Commands can act as object-oriented substituent for callbacks. So the requests are to be specified, queued, as well as executed different times. So command object can exist till the request gets handled successfully. That is, the existence of the command object does not depend upon the lifetime of the request. So when an address space independent approach is used for representing the receiver's request, then prior to satisfying the request, a command object must be transferred to different process. This process is responsible for handle the requesting service. So we also know about this. So that means when we are using some command, so that will be treated as a like as a function. Okay. So whenever it is executed, then it will be giving some callback result. So in some type of situations, we are giving more than one command. So at that time of the situation, these are maybe queued and these are executed in different times. And these are not based upon to the lifetime of the request. Okay, if you are observe here, in the diagram, so initially client using some command. So that is store command. Okay. Then invoker will be execute the action. That action will be reached to the receiver. So actually here receiver and client is the same. When you are sorry. Okay. So whenever client is issuing some command, that command is performing some action and the result will be received to the receiver. If you are observe here, sender and receiver is the same. Okay. And if you are observe here, this is the structure of command pattern. So that means initially client, okay, client generates some command. Then that command will performing the execute operation. So after performing the execute operation, then that will be points to the our results back to the receiver. Okay. So next one is the interpreter. Okay, we try to discuss the same topic in the next class. Okay, so if you hang any type of the doubts, you can ask me now. Okay, otherwise we try to end the session. So this interpreter is also completed in the last class. Just to try to repeat it, we try to repeat in the next class. Okay, and I try to giving one suggestion for you. So we don't know when the first meet will be conducted. So please, all of the members, please try to get ready to attend the first meet. So better you try to revise the previous topics. So after the completion of 15 unit, I will try to again repeat the first, second and third units. So why? Because those are useful for in the first meet. And some of the members still not submitting the assignment. So please submit the assignment. So when you are attend to the college. So if you, I will try to announce the numbers who are not submitting the assignment physically in my cabin. Okay, so those numbers are 2 3 4 9 12 13 15 18 19 20 21 25 28 29 32 33 34 35 37 38 39 49 51 54 57 58 61 62 70 80 85 94. So these members not submitting the assignment physically in my cabin. So uh, please submit your assignments as early as possible to me. Okay, if you're having any type of the doubts, you can ask me now. So otherwise, we can end the session today. Okay, Srinivas sir, Srinivas sir,
Sir,
are you taking the attendance, sir?
sir,
So if possible for you, please announce the absence, sir.
2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 20, 21, 22, 23, 25, 28, 34, 38, 47, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 56, 57, 58, 60, 63, 64, 70, 71, 73, 76, 78, 83, 85. ఓకేనా సార్?
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
ఓకే సార్.
Okay, if you're having any type of the doubts regarding the attendance, please contact the Srinivas sir. So if you're having any type of the doubts in the subject, you contact me directly. So or maybe you can send your doubts to my WhatsApp also, no problem. Okay, and you please try to follow the previous units. So mainly first, second, third units. Why? Because so those are considered into the first minute. We don't know so in which time it will be conducted. So that's why better you try to prepare the first minute also. Okay, not only in my subject. So better you try to prepare in all subjects, and you try to submit the assignments for all subjects. Okay, if you're having any type of the doubts, ask me. Otherwise, we can end the session. If any member is not having any type of the doubts, we can end the session. Okay, we will meet on the Monday. Thank you for your cooperation. Okay.